when I was in my final year, I decided to release a book, to publish a book. It was a poetry combined with prose. I was going to release it, and I was duped. Like, one dupe me. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Abiola Kemi Ogunleye, and of course, this is Let's Get Real with Abiola. You can also call me LGR. L for less, G for get, R for real. You all know we keep it real on lifestyle, on faith, on family, on love, on femininity, and we also keep it juicy on trends. Yes. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, why? Why? What did I do? Can you share? Oh yeah, please, please. As you're seeing this right now, subscribe to my channel, okay? And also give this video a massive thumbs up and share to your family, your friends, your loved ones. Share to as many people as possible. On today's edition of Let's Get Real, we are going to keep it real on my experience with passion. Okay, that sounds a bit controversial. My experience, my struggle with discovering what my passion was and differentiating between passion and hobby. So that is exactly what we are going to do on today's Let's Get Real. Let's start from the genesis, right? Let's start from the beginning. Okay, so in primary school, when they ask other children what they wanted to be in future, they could say they want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, you know, all these things they could say they want to be. But if you ask me, I didn't know. I couldn't tell. I couldn't decide what I wanted to be. So it could be anything. Anything that shall come to my mouth is what I will say. I shall not say I don't know, but I'll just say anything that comes to my mouth. But I still didn't understand. I didn't know what I wanted to be. But you know, it was actually understandable at that time, right? I may not really be able to figure it out in primary. But when I was in secondary school, I was done with my junior secondary. I still couldn't decide. If you ask me, Abiola, what do you want to be? I still did not know. And I needed to decide whether I wanted to go for arts, science, or commercial. And thankfully, someone in my class said she wanted to go to arts. And she gave a convincing reason as to why she wanted to go to art class. But then I was like, yes, Abiola will also go to art class. So I went to art class and I was doing all the art subjects, literature, government, all the art subjects. You know, I was just doing it, giving my best to it. And when I was done with secondary school, I still needed to decide, what do you want to study in university? I still didn't know. Like, it was that bad. This is not even the 10 years old me or the 13 years old me. This was me trying to tell what I was going to do in university, and I still couldn't tell. I still didn't know. So yes, my dad wanted me to do law, right? And you know how parents were then. Like, parents usually have what they wanted their child to be, and it was either they wanted their child to be a doctor, a lawyer, or an engineer. You know, so I was like, okay, let me just go for law. I do not have any, I don't have any plan for myself. So yes, let me go to law. So I couldn't enter university immediately, so I did degree. And when I had to choose which course I wanted to study, I put down law. But during my degree days, my friend came over, my fellow colleague in school came over to my house, and a friend of hers came to greet us. Let me put it that way. I don't want to say he came to greet her, since he came to my house, so came to greet us. So he said, so I know during her conversation and the way I was conversing, relating with him, it was like, you will be a good communicator, like go to mass comm. Like, it would be nice if you study mass comm. When I told him I wanted to do law, so I was like, okay. So when we were trying to choose again for JAMB and post-JAMB, I just said, okay, I'll choose law as my first choice, choose mass comm as my second choice. Law and below, I did mass comm. It was mass comm they gave me. I was admitted to do mass comm. And yes, I was enjoying being a mass communicator, and I liked every bit of it. I like that. I'm always a very shy person. Trust me. People who knows me knows I'm very shy, very gentle, and but being a mass comm made me see a different side to myself. I had to relate, and had to relate. But yes, now let's go back to Obi. Since I was in primary school, I had known how to write. Like, I had started writing, and thankfully it was because of my secondary school teacher, I mean my primary school teacher then, who had motivated us to discover our potential and start writing. He brought a book then and said, oh, someone in secondary school wrote this particular book, you can do the same, you can do this. So Isha gave us all these motivational tips, and so I started writing then, and it was fun. So but it was not exactly something I was passionate in. So I feel like passion has to do with something I wanted to be in future, right? Something that I wanted to become. But for me, writing is more or less like a hobby. I was not passionate about writing. I just was writing because I could write, right? And I didn't even have any plan to develop my writing like that. But later in secondary school, I wanted to develop it. But you know, so when I was in university, thankfully I attended a particular program, and that program caused a shift in my mindset, and made me start posting my the things I write. So that program actually told us to shift. There's a particular program organized by someone who I see as a mentor, Mr. Emmanuel Oshoteku. So he used to organize, now a doctor. Let me put respect to that name, Dr. Emmanuel Oshoteku. When we were in school, he would organize programs, seminars, and I would attend. He would even call me to do spoken words. But before then, it was a particular program of this that made me bring myself and start writing on my school group chat. On any group chat that I see, I would write. But let me tell you one thing I used to do again. I was always wondering what would people say about what I was writing. So then I will quickly send the thing out. Once I send it, I will go offline. I will just go offline from WhatsApp, because I was worried that what would people say, what would people think. But after I was ready to receive whatever it is that would happen, I'll now go back online. I'll now be seeing nice article, nice post. You're going places. Like, I was motivated. Like, people would motivate me, and then so people knew me as a writer then. When I was in my final year, I decided to release a book, to publish a book, and I wrote a particular book. It was a poetry combined with prose. And I was going to release it, and I was duped. Like, one ban me, one dupe me. So I decided to tell someone that I thought was um, someone I thought I could tell about my desire to publish a book, and because I didn't have enough money to publish it outrightly, so he said he has someone that would collect part payments, and this part payment he would, I once I'm done, I release the book, I do the launching, and then I can pay the rest of the payments later. I was just like, don't worry, we'll do this book, we'll publish this book. Because then I was targeting May. My birthday is May 3rd. And so I was targeting to release the book in May, that particular year, 2018. And then was saying, don't worry, the book will be out. In fact, before April ending, the book will be out, and be able to get the book out there, do a commemorative launching for it on your birthday. So it was just giving me that. I was like, oh, yes, I made the right decision, trusting him. This is not about him, right? So I don't really want to focus on him, as it were. Anyway, so I sent him a number of, I think I sent him altogether 50,000 naira, and I actually showed a particular person, and the person was like, I'm not sure this person gave anybody anything. He's the one doing it himself. He also said he would do the layout of the book. He didn't do it. And at the end of the day, I couldn't release the book. But doing one thing I wanted to bring out from this is not even about the fact I was due. I wanted to point out that during the time that I was writing the book, trying to publish the book, giving the book to editors, people that would help me edit it, proofreaders. I felt a sense of purpose. I felt a sense of passion during that time. I enjoyed that I was actively doing something, because for me then it was almost like I was waking up every morning doing the regular things, but I was not truly alive. But during that period, I was trying to write that book. I felt alive. I felt good, and I realized something then, that I really like writing. I really like doing something that has to do with writing, doing something that has to do with communicating. Okay, so I after the whole process, all those things happened and the book didn't come out, I felt disappointed. I went back into my shell. I went back into my shell, guys. And I was always quick to enter into back my shell, like, because I was very shy, very gentle, and I really love my space. I really love being alone. So I went back into my shell, and it took it took I don't know, it took constant motivation, because I never stopped writing. And I felt like some of the things that I write, if not most of them, most of the things that I write don't just go out there, it's also for me, right? So it's a way of motivating myself. I don't know, I feel like writers would understand this better, or creative generally would understand what I'm trying to say better. Like, you could just write something or create something and you feel inspired. It would be like, oh, I'm not just doing it for people out there, I'm also doing it for myself. Do you get it? Okay, so then I was not like, okay, so what exactly is what I was passionate in, and what exactly is my hobby? I feel like it was God ordering my steps. Like, the fact that I had struggled with knowing what I was passionate about was not necessarily it was all God ordering my step. Like, I'm not saying it is okay to struggle like I did, right? And I felt like it was even wrong separating passion from hobby, because if you do something as a hobby, it means you derive joy doing it. Passion is when you feel excitement towards doing a particular thing. So if you ask me, Abiola, what do you like doing? What are your hobbies? I love writing. I love listening to music. I love seeing movies. I can see movies there. But when it comes to Abiola, what are you passionate in? What are you, what exactly is your passion? I'm confused. But the real truth is, passion does not necessarily need to be separated from hobby, right? If I like doing a certain thing, doesn't necessarily have to be separated. I can be passionate about seeing movies, be passionate about writing, and doing all of these good things, right? For me, I felt like the issue I had was thinking my passion is my purpose. Now, a purpose is more focused. It's more or less like, okay, in this thing that I'm passionate about, what do I want to get out of it? And that is what I did not really understand at that time. So I was thinking passion necessarily has to be purpose. No, that I love writing doesn't necessarily mean I have to really get something out of it. Okay, so let me also add this. My friend Ibukun said something to me. So I asked her one day, I said, Ibukun, you know how to sing. Why are you not trying to release an album, or trying to join the choir department? Why do you prefer to be a sort of school teacher, or to be in other departments than being a choir? Then she said, the fact that I know how to sing does not mean I am called into singing. Take a moment. Like, you can know how to do something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're called to doing it. I realized that writing is something I was called to do. I can use my writing as a tool for impact. I used to say that my goal as a writer is to impact beyond my pen. And that is why you see that even outside from writing on my Facebook, on my Instagram, I also come here on YouTube and share videos like this. I didn't want to do things. I didn't want to work for people. I didn't want to do anything without knowing that I have joy in it. I needed to find joy in what I was doing. So if I'm working in a place, I have to find joy in it. If I'm doing anything I'm doing, I just want to find joy in it. And it was the joy part that was missing. I was trying to figure out what I would have joy outside writing. I wanted to find out something else, maybe. So yes, okay. I forgot to add that in my trying to discover what I was passionate in, I learned how to bake, I learned catering, I learned how to make hair, even though it was for a short time. I learned how to make hair. I learned, I even went to, I did professional course just to figure it out. I learned how to make dresses because I just didn't, I was just so confused. But I'm glad I learned all the skills. I'm glad I actually learned all these skills because the way it has added onto me, it has made me to become a better person. But you can be passionate about doing something, but it may not be your line of purpose. This is me saying that. Don't stress yourself trying to figure out what you are, what your line of purpose is. Just ask God for direction. Because one of the things that I did was I had to ask God, God, is it this? I'm not. I never. Although sometimes I take a long pause in writing. I might not write. You might not really see me write on weekly basis, but I never stop writing altogether because that is one thing I'll never do. Say I want to stop writing altogether, except I receive an instruction to do so. But other than that, I won't stop writing. I won't stop coming out here, doing what I'm doing. Right? So what I'm trying to say is to discover your passion, to discover your purpose in line with your passion. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Always continue doing what you're doing. Don't stop writing. If you're a writer, don't stop writing. If you're an artist, don't stop. You might feel like you're knowing how to draw or knowing how to write. It doesn't necessarily mean that you find joy doing it or necessarily mean that is your line of purpose. But don't stop doing what you're doing. And pray to God. One of the things I did was I prayed to God that God, I need to know. I need to know. I can't just live my life and and just like that. I want to live. I want to feel alive. I don't want to merely exist. I want to feel alive. And part of feeling alive is knowing that the things you wake up to every day are the things you find joy doing. So when you go out there to go to your workplace, to go to your line of passion, your line of purpose, there are things that you actually enjoy doing. So even if this is stressing you out, even if you feel frustrated, even if something you're expecting is not even coming from it, you find joy in doing it. You're not tired to do it. And as you're not getting tired, you need to pray to God that God, multiply this thing that I'm doing. I don't want to just do it for fun. I want to do it and be able to feed myself, feed my family, fend for people around me. And that is it. So, yes, you may struggle like I did. You might even struggle more than I did, trying to figure out what you have joy, what to derive joy in doing. So you are in a place working for someone and you're just doing it because, okay, I want to get my salary, because you have joy in doing it. Yes, if you feel led to stop, you can stop. If you don't feel led to stop, just continue doing it. But keep praying to God that, God, I need to know. Help me figure it out. No, it could be something that will just spark your interest and they would see that you have a purpose in doing this thing. If you are part of the lucky ones who knew early what you want to be, kudos. Lucky you. But if you're like me who took time, it took me time to figure it out. And I'm serious, I've not even figured it all out. And that's it. You might not figure it all out. But don't be afraid to take that baby steps. Take that baby step. Because even if you're in a job that you find fulfillment working there, if you find fulfillment working in a place, even if you work there for 10 years, it would not matter to you. Even if you die there, it will not matter to you. But when you're working somewhere you don't find joy, it is very bad. It is very bad. So you need to make sure that whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're committing your heart to, make sure it is something you find purpose in, you find joy doing. And if you don't find joy doing it, Ask God for direction. Ask Him to help you. Don't stop growing yourself. Don't stop making yourself better while you're trying to figure out what to derive joy doing. Try different things out, different good things out, different creative things out. Try those things out, and before you know it, you will figure it out. You find that thing that would cause a spark in you, that would ignite your passion, that would ignite your purpose. And I mean, that is exactly what the end goal is. But you don't sleep on your bed and be expecting that you would figure it out. You have to get up, you have to pray to your God. Tell God, God, I want to live a life of purpose. I want to live a life of fulfillment. I want to live a life of joy. I want to live a life that is heading towards a direction. I don't want to be going here and there. I want to live a life heading towards a direction. Order my step. That's how you pray to God. Father, I want you to order my step. Whatever it is that I'm doing, I want it to glorify you. And as it is glorifying you, I want to derive joy doing it. I pray that God would continue to be your shield. It will be your buckler. It would help you figure out that which you're trying to do with yourself, that which He wants to use you to do, whether in ministry, whether in media, whatever platform He wants to use you, in business, in wherever it is that God wants you to be, that is where you will be. It will cause people to be in your life that would help you, that will elevate you, that will direct you. Because for me then, even as much as I was doing things that people wanted me to do, there were things, it was still God ordering my step. Because joining art class may have happened because I didn't want to be there, but it was still God ordering my step. Doing mass communication was still God ordering my step. Whatever it is I'm doing now is still God ordering my step. So I ask that God order your step, and that it is well with you, it is well with your finance, well with your family, and that grace abounds in your life. Thank you for watching today's edition of Let's Get Real. I hope you're blessed and I hope that you're enlightened. Don't forget, stay real. Till I come your way next time. Bye-bye.